Today is a day I've been waiting for a very long time because my dear friend and donut connoisseur is about to make me a big batch of homemade yeasted donuts.
You know it. Now, you know we have traveled for how many years together, and I'm always searching out good donuts. And I've made so many donuts over the years, commercially and also at home, and they always lead to disappointment. Yeasted donuts sometimes are just so heavy and bready, and we want really light, ethereal, pillowy donuts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so it's a texture thing.
It is a texture thing.
Okay.
We want them to be tender and delicious enough that we keep piling them in our mouth.
Gotcha.
All right. So the first thing that a lot of recipes go wrong is they start with the bread dough. Bread dough makes bready donuts.
Hello.
Yeah. And then one of the problems is they use bread flour. We're starting off with all-purpose flour. So it's a little bit softer, a little bit less protein. So this is 4½ cups of all-purpose flour. That's 22½ ounces. And we're going to add some sugar. I've got a ½ cup of granulated sugar. Sugar is going to help with the tenderness and the softness of the donut. And I've got a teaspoon of instant yeast. All right, just giving this a quick mix by hand, just to break up the flour there, incorporate everything. And now a little liquid. Now this is 1½ cups of milk and just 1 egg. This is a large egg. So I'm going to give this a mix just by hand, giving it a little head start here for the mixer. All right, got the dough hook on. Lock it in place. We're gonna mix this on medium-low, really until it just becomes a kind of homogeneous mass. That's gonna take only 2 minutes at medium-low speed. All right, cohesive. So we're gonna leave this there. Thank you if you wouldn't mind handing me that bit of plastic wrap. And I just actually go ahead and I wrap it right around.
I do the same thing.
The beater and everything. And we're gonna leave this for about 20 minutes. We want a little bit of gluten development to start here. Now these are not gonna be tough donuts, so we're gonna keep that gluten development to a minimum.
Okie doke.
So 20 minutes. All right, so now I want to add the salt. Salt competes with the flour for the moisture in there, and that's why we waited to add the salt. That's 1½ teaspoons of table salt. Now we're gonna let the mixer run on medium-low. We wanna give the salt time to incorporate. So about 5, maybe 7 minutes. And it's going to start to look a little elasticy.
Okay.
That's a real word. Starting to look like a pretty little dough in there. All right, so that was 5 minutes. Let the salt incorporate, and now we're gonna add butter. This is 8 tablespoons, just 1 stick of unsalted butter, cut into these smaller pieces here, and these have slightly softened. We're gonna work this into the dough as the mixer's running. So I'm gonna put this back on medium-low. Gradually add the butter, a few pieces at a time, and then we're gonna let the mixer run for another 7 to 13 minutes. Oh, what a difference.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah, what a difference. This only went 7 minutes and it came together.
Oh, it's so soft.
Yeah, check this out. It's really stretchy and elastic. Okay, that is great. And it cleared the sides of the bowl. So we can get this dough out of there. All right, the bowl is greased, a little bit of vegetable oil spray. I'm gonna flip it over just to make sure it's all greased. And then I'm going to shape it into kind of a rough ball here. Don't need to knead it on the countertop. So now, a little bit of plastic wrap there. So we're gonna put this into the fridge. And you wanna leave it in the fridge for at least overnight, up to 48 hours in advance. It's going to help to firm up this dough later on. It's gonna be so easy to stamp out our donuts. So, hour on the counter and then into the fridge. The dough is well chilled. All right.
May I?
Please do.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's really firm.
That's a sturdy dough. It's gonna be so much easier to roll out and stamp into donuts. All right, but sometimes it needs a little coaxing to get out of this bowl. So just using a bowl scraper here, a little bit of flour. And the great thing about this is pushing in it is a really good thing. We wanna get rid of any big air bubbles here. So I'm just gonna start to mold this into a square, about an 8-inch square. All right, so now, looking pretty good. I am going to just lightly dust the top here and get out my rolling pin. And I'm gonna roll this out to about 10 by 13-inch rectangle. And this is just a really forgiving dough.
Look at that.
It's not snapping back at me. And I am working from the middle out. And
Look how smooth that is.
And you can really handle this dough. You couldn't do this with a warm dough. So I'm looking for a 10 by 13-inch rectangle, and it should be about a 1/2 inch thick. All right, let's check this out.
10.
All right, we got 13 this way. So it's time to start stamping. I've got a 3-inch biscuit cutter here. So I just want to make sure that I get 12 donuts out of here, and I'm going to go ahead and cut them all, spacing them pretty close together. That's 12 of the 3-inch rounds, and now I've got another tiny little biscuit cutters. This is a 1-inch biscuit cutter right in the center. Let me get the donuts onto a rimmed baking sheet. We've lined it with parchment and then sprayed it with vegetable oil spray.
Beautiful.
Lovely. But we can't forget our little donut hole plugs. So, all right, that looks great. Now these need to rise a little bit by about 50%. So we are going to put these in the oven. The oven is turned off. We're going to use it as a proofing box. So I've got a little bit of hot water. So I'm going to need you to take that to the oven. You're going to pour a cup of water into a loaf pan that I've already placed in there. I'm going to close the door and we're going to leave these in there again until they've risen by about 50%. That's going to take anywhere from 45 minutes up to an hour. All right, so our donuts are out of the oven. I just want to give it a knuckle test. That's where you just press gently with your knuckle, just like that, and it should slowly spring back.
Okay.
All right, these are proofed beautifully. So I've got 2 quarts of vegetable oil, and this has been heating to 360 degrees. It's a good idea anytime that you're frying that you want to heat the oil really gently. I'm going to use 2 hands here and just softly lower them into the fat. And you can see that it's just a really lovely simmer here.
Yeah.
Just want to know where your fingers are, of course. All right, so I'll get all 4 in here. So we're going to cook these on this first side, and we want to maintain an oil temperature of between 350 and 365.
Okay.
All right, so it's been about a minute. I'm going to peek under the first one I put in. Oh, that's a nice,
Beautiful.
a tan color there. And I'm just using a skimmer to flip these over. I'm going to show you another trick. Oh, gorgeous. All right. Now, when I was making donuts commercially, they had donut sticks. These are just little chopsticks. I use them at home when I'm making donuts. They're great for flipping. So just about a minute on that second side. All right, let's take a look on that second side. You see that beautiful second side?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
All right, I'm going to flip it over so you can see how gorgeous that is. That's a good color there. Let's get these out of the oil. These are going on a triple layer of paper towels that we put over a rack, over a rimmed baking sheet. The paper towels do a great job of wicking away all of that extra grease. And now I am going to let the oil come back up to temp. Again, we're looking for about 360, and we're going to fry the rest of the donuts.
Okay.
What do you think of my donut shop?
I think I really want to eat these right away.
I know, but they're going to get even better with a beautiful glaze. Now, these were cool for about 5 minutes. They're safe to handle.
Oh, my goodness.
I know, they're like feather light
Oh,
already.
if I touch them, they're mine, right?
I like the way you think. Now, for some of these, we're going to coat them with a pretty classic glaze. And I've got here 3 1/4 cups of confectioner's sugar. I've got a 1/2 cup of hot water.
Okay.
I love this little trick. The hot water just melts that sugar right away.
Oh,
so
that's fun.
you don't get any of that graininess. And this is just a pinch of salt. We'll whisk this together. And you can see it's a very, very loose glaze.
It is.
That is absolutely by design. We're going to glaze 4 of these with our plain glaze here. I'm just going to add the donut right in. And for the plain glaze, I like to get these back out. You can use your fingers and just flip them over. But then I do this to make sure that every last little bit is covered with
Even
glaze.
the midriff.
That's exactly right.
You've definitely done this a time or 2.
We're going to leave these on our wire rack. This is just set over a rim baking sheet to catch any sugar.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
The smell of a warm donut going in glaze. Wow.
It's almost like caramel.
Yeah.
Just move this over there. You like this method though?
I do.
We've got some gorgeous glazes here. We're going to glaze 4 of these with a chocolate glaze, and we've got a raspberry glaze
Oh.
here. Yeah, we've got so many other kinds of glazes and even fillings on our website, so people can go check that out. But what would you like to glaze first?
I'm going to glaze chocolate.
All right.
All right, show me how to do it.
Pick them up, dip them halfway in,
Okay.
just to the midriff.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and then let some of that excess drip down. Look at that.
Ah, that was fun.
Expertly done. I'm going to show you our beautiful raspberry glaze. Same thing. There we go.
Oh, that is sweet.
Pretty in pink. If you would join me here. Just a little sprinkle. I like to still be able to see the glaze underneath.
Oh, the sprinkles are fun.
These need to set up. That glaze needs to harden a little bit. It'll get nice and matte. And that's going to take anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And then we can eat them.
Yay! I've been waiting for this for a long time. Years, in fact, you've been talking about making me donuts.
I know. Let's eat them.
Okay. The hard choice is choosing which one.
Now, here's the good news. You don't have to choose one.
I was just thinking, I'm just going to have one of each.
Classic glazed.
Oh my goodness. That is so fluffy inside. This is pillowy. Let's see how this one tastes.
That tastes like a donut and a tall glass of chocolate milk.
Grand finale, little sprinkle. It tastes like fresh raspberries have been pulped down and just lightly glazed over the top of the donut. That's incredible.
Yeah, this is a real raspberry one.
Bridget, these donuts are magnificent.
It's worth the wait.
It was, thank you.
You bet.
So there you have it. If you want to make the ultimate homemade donuts, make an enriched yeast dough with milk and butter and let it rise overnight in the fridge. Gently roll out the dough, then cut out both donuts and donut holes and fry them in hot oil before coating with glaze. From America's Test Kitchen, a killer recipe for yeasted donuts. These are just the best donuts I've ever had.
Kind of amazing. We're gonna need a bigger plate.
Thanks for watching America's Test Kitchen. What'd you think?
Well, leave a comment and let us know which recipes you're excited to make, or you can just say hello.
You can find links to today's recipes and reviews in the video description.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
See you later.
I'll see you later.